Why hello there, my friends. Come, gather round. Do not be shy, and I will tell you all about how video games that are supposedly kid-friendly can harbor some very dark and spooky secrets that are completely out of touch with the entire tone of the game. Today, I will be bringing you a list of 5 such things that scared me when I was a child, and that I think may still scare children to this very day. Let me be clear, however, on a few rules before I share my list with you. There will only be one pick per franchise, and please note that these are strictly my own opinions based solely on the games I have played firsthand or have enough working knowledge of to be able to constructively talk about them. I may have not seen the scary things that you have seen, so please bear this in mind. And now, let the grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize as I share with you my top 5 countdown of scary things in not so scary games.
Now there's always the notion of the unexpected when one thinks about extraterrestrial life in faraway galaxies. Landing on each new planet in the Ratchet & Clank game A Crack in Time brings with it many questions. What kind of terrain will you be facing? What and where is your main objective? But more worryingly, what things are out there that can and want to kill you? But you mosey on regardless, everything appears to be normal, and then you see this strange looking structure. There are bright yellow eyes peeking precariously out of its holes, and every so often a small insect-like creature scuttles across its surface. And then, as soon as you step into close proximity, a literal flood of them pour out of the nest, hungry for your lombat's flesh. These are the Tetramites. They're small, they flood out in swarms of thousands strong, and can devour an unprepared traveller in mere seconds. They actually turn out to be a surprising force to be reckoned with in your journey through the Briga system, and your allies talk about them as if they're the spawn of Satan himself.
Whatever happens, do not let them touch you. Let's just say they can digest anything.
Which is rather fitting actually, because the Tetramites are almost invincible. You can try to kill them off one by one, but more will simply come from the nest. It'll be a battle you will never win. Additionally, the music that plays when they're around is extremely unsettling, and it makes trying to get around them a much bigger and tenser ordeal. Sorry, that wasn't very Halloween-y. Their scare factor comes from their swarm-like appearance, and the fact that they will almost certainly end you should you make a mistake and fall into their ravenous clutches. Now, does the word scary come to mind when you think about Sonic the Hedgehog? No? Yeah, that's what I also would have said. But then I would think about Sandopolis Zone. But then you say, but what the blazes are you on about? Tons. What the hell is there to be scared of in the Sandopolis Zone? You're crazy. You're wrong. You've been sniffing the solvents or something, haven't you? But then I'd say Act 2, dumbass. I'm sorry, I wouldn't actually call you a dumbass, but I would still probably call you a silly noggin head or something. If there is anything in Sonic 3 and Knuckles to keep me on my toes, it's this level right here. The level needs you to be vigilant and active. You can't hang around for long, or else. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Ah, light switch. One part of your mind is always concentrating on finding the nearest light switch, because if you can't find one in time, then these guys are gonna start showing up. And even though they start out looking all cute and everything, and oh, I just want to take one of them home with me to love it and feed it and pet it and cuddle it, so... Well, that was rather unexpected. And then if it gets completely dark, they will start swooping down randomly at you to try and devour your soul. Nope! Nope! No, no! There's nothing more we can do here! I'm going to start off this next pick by saying Pokemon is awesome. I can imagine it's really easy to forgive someone who was a huge Pokemon nut when the craze first reached the UK, i.e. your friend and humble narrator. I was all over the anime and the first generation of games, specifically Yellow version. I mean, you could train these amazing beasts to become the most super powerful things ever, and it was really easy to heal them should you need to, so I thought everything was all fine and dandy. And then Lavender Town decided to happen. What are these? What are these tombstones? What are they doing? Why are they here? Wait, hold on a second. Wait, what? Pokemon can actually die? My 7-year-old self saw that as the worst thing ever. And then every day since, the notion that Pokemon are actually vulnerable creatures that can sadly pass on to the next life has haunted me to no ends. As you can probably fathom by now, Lavender Town isn't exactly that cheery of a place. Your Pokemon become sad after seeing the various memorials, and the Lavender residents all talk about believing in ghosts and laying their deceased Pokemon to rest. Within the gaming community, Lavender Town is a hotbed for creepypasta style stories regarding its utterly haunting musical score and the myths surrounding the place. In this town, it well and truly hits home that things are not as bright as they seem in the Pokemon world. I mean, they can die, for goodness sake. I want you to take a very good look at this game, Klonoa Daughter Phantomile. Oh, it's a happy place! Those enemies, they're so cute! Klonoa and his little sidekick, they're so cute! How can I possibly talk about Klonoa in my number 2 spot of scary things? The music's incredibly cheery, the visual elements aren't dark at all, and the characters you meet are really weird and enchanting. I bet even the main villain is weird and enchanting. Monstrosity! To be honest, I'm not really sure I could tell you all that much about Gardius. I only recently picked up the game again on the PlayStation Network and didn't remember a great deal from it. But what I do know is that his presence in the otherwise calm and cheerful land of Phantomile is completely out of place. He delights in only one thing, to use the mystical moon pendant to help him fill the world with nightmares. And you know, kids hate nightmares. So yeah, it's probably bad. Okay. Plus, have you seen the way he looks? Look at that deep, dark cloak and his menacing face mask. Or is that his real face? I don't know, Sherlock! And have a listen to his voice. It's massively low-pitched and reverberating, it's fear-inducing as well as vomit-inducing. I may also be right in thinking that the PSN remaster of this game also pitched down everything sound-wise. So now Gardius' voice is even more deep and even more terrifying. Happy.
Now there are way more than 5 scary things that I could have talked about here. But unfortunately, they didn't make my top 5 list. So now, let me share with you the one that almost made it.
All sorts of fun and games can be enjoyed in Super Mario Galaxy 2, and indeed its predecessor. Much like Klonoa, the world is bright, varied, and lovingly detailed, but even a game of Mario Galaxy's caliber isn't exempt from having its own dark secrets. Case in point, in the Shiverburn Galaxy, go to your first-person view and look at the top of the left cliff face. Everything seems normal, I don't know what— oh, it's all like and if I move, they keep following me! Nobody knows what these things truly are, so I'm just gonna call them the Shiverburn Shadow People. Their reason for appearing is utterly unknown, and no other character in the game mentions of them existing. Their appearance could be inspired from Japanese Kodama, otherwise known as tree spirits, but otherwise, their true origin is widely disputed. People have been able to look into Mario Galaxy 2's game data to see where and how they are included, but I will leave that for you to find out. They're incredibly easy to miss on your very first playthroughs, but when I took the time to look around the environment, seeing them there, it really startled me. And now that you and I both know about these, things, I can never look at Mario Galaxy in the same way again. So there's been some pretty scary stuff that we've seen so far, but in my opinion, nothing can come close to my number one pick. And finally, we have a look at another game character who isn't really associated with fear. If you remember Rayman's first game, you'll know what I mean. I mean, there were certainly some menacing looking antagonists, but again, there's nothing too bad. But then Rayman 2 The Great Escape came along, and the plot was certainly a lot more mature than before. You had robot pirates bent on enslaving the whole world, you started out the game in prison with no hope at all, and there was a multitude of iffy characters that you came across, chief among which was this thing, that appears to be what looks like Mike Wazowski after a hard batch of drugs. Meth. Not even once. He is the guardian to a place called the Cave of Bad Dreams, which you can only enter if you know the name Cave of Bad Dreams. And everything even remotely nightmarish can be found in this place. Cobwebs, bats, death pits, fire-breathing monsters, and of course these spooky, scary skeletons that you have to climb on. It's all really unnerving by itself, and it's only made worse by the soundtrack for this level, but this isn't even the scariest bit. No, not by any stretch of the imagination. I swear it to you, I dreaded this section right here as a little child. All of a sudden the Guardian wants to murder you and begins chasing you down this unpleasant gorge while salivating at the mouth. And you're forced to race down the slippery chasm to save your own skin, for if you get too close to those horrific fangs, it's curtains for you. And the soundtrack becomes so much more fast-paced and urgent, and God, those violent piano stabs. It actually sounds like someone stabbing me in real life, and that's not a good feeling. Now, I would have just mentioned this one bit, but to be honest, there is plenty to fear in the Cave of Bad Dreams. It's basically one massive hell world that you'll be happy to see the end of, and thus, it is my number one scary thing in a not so scary game.
And there you have it, my friends. Once again, my scary things may not have been your scary things, so please let me know of your picks and your feedback in the comments section below. Please behave down there. But for now, until we next meet again, all I can say now is stay you and stay awesome. And I will see you all later on. In your nightmares. Oh, for God's sakes, I couldn't keep that up.
Hey, thanks again for watching, you lovely people. Be sure to give a like and a favourite if you enjoyed the video, and if you really liked it and you want more, consider subscribing to The Richaado Show, so you can be among the first to see new content when it's ready. Thanks again, and I will see you guys later on.